to go to the Slipper Lake lookout today. There's that beautiful red tree and just outside my backyard. There's all kinds of Himalayan balls in here, and they're setting off their seeds. You'll hear these like little snapping noises. That's the balsam, Himalayan balsam, which is an invasive species. It's very, very pretty, beautiful orchid-like flower, but apparently it spreads too rapidly and takes over natural habitats. So, but I see a lot of it around Elliott Lake now. Don't think that we're going to get rid of it. This trail in previous years would be all wet in here, but doesn't seem to be this year, as dry as it's been. A little bit of color here, but not much. And we're right behind the houses on my street. Well, sort of right behind. I mean, there's quite a bit of bush between us and their houses. Feels like country. Very green in here still. But I anticipate lots of color in the hardwood bush once I get there. Probably about, it doesn't take me much longer than about 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most to get into the bush, the hardwood bush, along Angel Lake, and then towards Crystal Lake I'll take off into the bush in the other direction to where I'll find the lookout over Slipper Lake, and that bush is usually lots of hardwood in there. So look at that pretty tree up there, beautiful. Sun's in my face. The golden leaves are pretty too this time of year. And some reds right here. Nice brilliant red above me. There's a little stream that runs across this trail when the weather is damp, but I'll be curious to see if it has any water in there. There's another pretty bunch of color in the bush. Looking pretty dry. This is few boards here that usually cross the... No, not a drop. That's the driest I've ever seen it. So that sparkling water through there is Angel Lake, which I've done plenty of videos of. Love all these leaves on the ground right now. I think I'll stay in the shade. Got short sleeves on today. Hard to believe we're almost at the end of September and we're still in summer t-shirts. And through there is Angel Lake. Don't try to tell me that I'm not one of the luckiest women on the planet to have this splendid bush to walk in. Right, basically in my own backyard. And it doesn't hurt for me to be talking while I'm walking through here because this is the bush that I have run across a couple of bears in the past, so I am more careful about watching for them here. They tend to like being close to the human population, I think, where they have plenty of garbage and stuff to raid for easy pickings. I'm pretty sure they haven't gone into hibernation yet. Isn't that a beautiful scene there, eh? Beautiful colors. quite a breeze, so I'm wondering if we'll get some leaves falling. Be nice to get some video of that. This trail is beautiful any time of the year. Doesn't matter what time. All seasons, spring, summer, fall, winter. It's just so pretty. Surrounded by lovely, gorgeous trees with their wonderful fall dress. I better save some battery power for when I actually get to the bush close to Slipper Lake Lookout, because otherwise I'll get there and my camera will be dead. So, but I think this is the most beautiful that I've ever seen, this particular part of the trail. It's absolutely delightful. Beyond my expectations. And you have to stop and look up every once in a while, because that is what is overhead. And we don't want to miss it. Crunch, crunch, crunch of these plentiful leaves beneath my feet. Here's some leaves falling. I just came from that direction, back through the bush to my house, and then here's where I'm taking off onto another trail that I don't normally walk. Well, you know, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. So this is the one that takes me over to the Slipper Lake Lookout. So, and hopefully there's no problems with any wet areas I can't get through. I mean, I've always been able to get through here on wetter years, so I'm pretty sure this year, with as dry as it's been, it's not going to be a problem. Black squirrel just running across the ground. They make a lot more noise than bears, isn't it interesting? The little tiny creatures can make a lot of noise, but the bears, you don't even hear them, and then all of a sudden they're standing, you know, 20 or 30 feet away from you. Although if I'm making enough noise, I doubt that anyone's going to get too close to me today. And I'm making quite a bit of noise, yakking away on my video. So this trail is very pretty too. It appears that the ATVs haven't been through here in the last little bit because this tree has fallen down over the path. So I can get under this, which I will, because that old vehicle there marks the fork in the road that I usually take. I don't know if that arrow on the door was supposed to indicate to people that this is the way to go up, but you can see the trail is not well used. So, but I've been up it so many times, I know where it is. And there is some markings once I get to the top of the hill. There's some arrows on some trees. You can see what I mean. This is the trail up here, almost invisible if you get to that vehicle and you don't know if you turn. You're going to be heading on down a different trail that's more indirect. I like this one better. And in springtime, when there's a lot of moisture around, that other trail can get really sloppy. This one stays more on high ground. And this tree came down, oh, maybe a couple of years ago, because it was down when I came through here in the winter. So I go around the end of it. That's the end of the tree where I circle around it. Here we go. And you can go that way, which hits back towards the condos, or this way to the lookout. And there's my arrow. And again, just lovely bush. There's quite a bit of softwood in this area. Pines and spruce. fir trees. So I think obviously, a lot of the leaves have fallen. I'm surprised there's so much color in the trees still, considering how many leaves are on the ground. But what a beautiful sound of fall, crunching through the leaves. And as I indicated, there's another arrow. Do you hear that? I'm pretty sure that's a woodpecker. I heard him tapping. In this area right here, it looks a little damp. It's pretty much a riverbed through here, and usually I'm like jumping from one rock to another, trying to get around the wet. So yes, it's been, I mean, an actual little stream. So I'm quite happy to see it's dried up right now. So I've come out from that evergreen section into this beautiful hardwood bush. I'm not too far from the lookout now. Normally, if I'm not taking a lot of video and pictures, I can hike the distance from my place to the lookout in about 45 minutes. When you're coming from the direction that I came, there's no indication on the trees like that says this is where the lookout trail is. Okay, there's a white arrow over there that shows that direction down to Slipper Lake, but there are blue markers on these trees this way. So I only know it because I've been up here several times, so and I'm looking for the blue markers. So here we go. This is going to take me up to the lookout, which is up on that ridge. Really winds a lot through the bush. You really have to pay attention to the markers on the trees. If you're not familiar, I have different landmarks that I look for as well, like big mounds that I have to cross over, that kind of thing. So we're getting very close now. The first time I ever came across this scene was in winter, and I started crying when I found it. It just, for some reason, I guess whatever was happening in my life at the time, it just seemed to be like a sign that this was the right place for me. It was a very joyful cry, not a sad cry. I was so thrilled at having found this beautiful lookout over a lake. And it never, ever disappoints me when I come out here. So I'm sure you'll see why in a moment. Because here we come. Beautiful Slipper Lake. And wow.